Welcome guys to another episode with the Code Brothers. Well, me, one of the Code Brothers. Today we're in loops and iterators lesson. This is the lesson for today, and it's a pretty long lesson, so we might have to divide it into 2 episodes instead of 1. Okay. Well, this just explained why we need while loops, and basically it's because when you want an action to be repeated multiple times, you're gonna need a loop to do it. And they're gonna recode everything a whole bunch of times. Okay, so let's read. You guys are gonna have to read this part. The while loop in the editor is currently an infinite loop. Correct this so it will end. Be careful if you click run right away. You'll start an infinite loop and you'll have to refresh the page. Yep, and counted from 0. I equals 0. While I is less than 5, put I, and then the way it does that, if you wouldn't have had this at all, this part, it would have kept putting I, because he says while I is less than 5, puts I, but I is equal to 0, so it's always going to be less than 5. So you just need to be going up infinitely, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. But since we fixed it, I equals I plus 1, every time it adds 1 to i's. So it makes it keep going. Now when it comes to the fifth, it doesn't appear, but watch this. I can send it to a 6. Alright? Then I click run, and it'll run all the way to 5. So it runs all the way to the number that you told it to not run anymore. But when it does, it doesn't show the last. Okay, so let's move to the next exercise. The complement to the while loop is the until loop. It's sort of like a backwards while. So I equals 0 until I is equal to 6. I will do plus 1 and puts I. Okay, this is a different way of doing it. In the example above, we first create a 0. We first create a variable I and set it to 0. Then we execute a block of code until I is equal to 6. That block of code increments I. When I is equal to 6, the block ends. Finally, we print 6, the value of I of the to the console. On the second line, I want to fill this part in the blank. Okay. So the loop breaks when counter is greater than 10. So loop break when counter is greater than 10. So we'll do this. I think it goes like this. Puts counter, add code to update here. I'm also add an update here. I'm gonna put it under the thing. Nah, on it. On line 5, yeah, see? On line 5, increment counter like we did in the example above. I'll also do this. Okay, so counter plus counter. No, counter equals counter plus 1. Enter plus 1. Okay, plus 1. It should be fine now. Run. Nope. Counter is not a thing for some reason. I'm spelling it wrong. Okay, I have 2 counters here. I don't know why I have 2 counters here. Maybe that was the problem. Okay, it works just fine. But this one works better, I find, because whenever it gets 10, it shows 10, unlike the other one. We've been using syntax like counter equals counter plus 1, which works, but as you'll increasingly find with Ruby, there's always another way. A shortcut is to use an assignment operator. You already know one assignment operator is the equal sign, which sets a variable. You can update a variable with the conditional assignment operators, however, which include a plus, minus, times, slash. For instance, when you type counter plus equals 1, I think it was counter plus counter still. Okay, that's good. Yeah, that's good. That's cool. It's a cool little thing. I mean, I don't know how much I dig it, but it's fine. Like if I were coding, I don't know if I'd use this instead. You're telling Ruby add 1 to counter, then assign that new value back to the counter. Okay, it's not that bad. The loop from the first exercise is in the editor. Rewrite it using it. Okay, they want us to do this. That should be it. Great work. You're ready to build your very own for loop. Write a for loop that puts, okay, I got you, boy, got you. For num, not mum. For num, not for bum. For num in 3 dots, or 3 dots in 21. Put num, and that would print exactly what is already here. Yep, or you can make it 20 and then take one of the dots away and it will still work. So far we've learned, okay, that's a lot. The simplest iterator in loop method. You can create a basic but infinite loop by simply typing loop. In Ruby, the curly braces are generally interchangeable with the keywords do to open the block and end to close it. Knowing this, we can create a smarter loop than the one above. I equals 0, loop do plus 1, print, break if the other one is simpler though. The breaks keyword is to get out of jail free card. It breaks a loop as soon as its condition is met. Replace the blanks in the editor with the appropriate keyword. Check the hint if you need help. No, it looks pretty easy. There's a gigantic hint right here, right in this area right here. Loop do, and then break, it was pretty easy. Now I wanted to say put you just get an achievement, which rocks. Boom, chakalaka. I'm just gonna leave it print for the sake of not messing anything up. The next keyword, literally the next keyword can be used to skip over certain steps in the loops. For instance, if we don't want to print out the even numbers, we can write for in numbers 1 through 5 next if. Okay, a little bit of new syntax. Print I, and in the above example, we loop through the range of 1 through 5, assigning each number to I in turn. If the remainder of I/2 is 0, we go to the next iterator of the loop. Then we print the value of 1. This line only prints out 1, 3, and 5 because of the previous line. add a line to your loop before your print statement. Use the next keyword so that you skip to the next iteration if the number I is odd. Use the example above for help, but remember that the example above skips even numbers. Okay? Then allow me to add a line to your loop before your print. Use the next keyword so that you skip to the iteration if a number is odd. Skips to even numbers. Oh, okay, I got this. I think I got it. Like, this might work. No, this works. Yeah, for sure. Let me fix how it looks for OCD reasons, and that does work. Yay. Okay, let's leave this one for the next episode, guys. This is the first half of the loops and iterators, so the next half will be on the next episode. Thank you all so much for watching, and see you guys next time. Peace.